I miss you too. Well, I feel like we get to spend some time together and that makes me happy when we do this. So it's 1 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Oh, here's our friend Brenda. Yay. Here she comes. So we are concluding our entire month of March the with the amber nail. Now, as we have gone through, we've done like a jade nail where we did like acrylic that we had marbled together. And then we had done I'm trying to think, what did we do? Like a quartz nail, like a milky quartz. And we had done a fire opal. We'd done all kinds of things. And now instead of doing like the rose quartz or the amethyst, which a lot of people do, I thought, let's go ahead and do amber because this is actually one of my very, very favorite stones. So I'm going to show you this necklace. This was part of my inspiration. So this is a piece of amber that it's actually really big. Like if you see it like in my hand, okay, it's a very big piece of amber. And my husband bought this for me like 18 years ago, 17 years ago, I've had it. And you can actually see where it broke off of a tree on the back. And it was a one-of-a-kind piece. And there's no like mosquitoes in it, but there is a lot of fire, a lot of the inclusions of where it had broken off of that tree. So this is a beautiful piece. And then I also have, here's another piece. This is my ring. This is an amber ring. And I actually know the silversmith who made this. So forever, I've loved the color of amber. I've loved the stone of amber, if that's what you would call it. Also, incidentally, a little thing about me, my middle name is Amber D. I actually have two middle names. So Phoenix Amber D. Kind of cool, right? So it's been, I've wanted forever to be able to try and make a nail that looked like amber, but really try and capture that fire. So that is what I did today. And as you can see, these nails are like, they're see-through and that it really does kind of have that fire effect. So I'm really excited to show you how we did this today. And thank you so, so much for joining us. This is going to be great. So we are going to start. I have a couple different nails here. So however you want to do it, this one is clear. I like how it looks when it's clear. I also have one here that is like the natural color that we can just work through as well. So the very first thing that we do actually is this. So I'll preface it with this, you guys, this nail takes a lot of layers. So similar to like what we did last week, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, where we had a lot of layers. Okay. So we're going to be using a matte top coat. And if you do not have a matte top coat, that is fine. You can do a shiny top coat and then buff it really well. But I like the matte. It will allow us to use alcohol ink without it like bleeding out everywhere. That's one of the things about alcohol ink. I want just a little bit more control. Okay. All right. So there we go. There's our little matte coverage. We'll go ahead and throw that in our lamp. And I'm going to go ahead and do both of these nails just because I like that you guys can see the difference. If they're, there's not a huge difference, but enough of a difference. And also for the record, if you are on like the gallery screen of the page, I am not at home. Obviously, I'm in a different location. I actually have stepped away from my house so that I could just focus on some content. So it's really great. Getting a lot of videoing done. We're trying to re-video some educational modules. So that's going to be really wonderful. Okay, so here we go. Put this one matte. So we'll cure both of those for 30 seconds. Okay, so the next step in this nail is we are actually going to do some alcohol ink. Now, I don't know if any of you have used alcohol ink before, but basically it's alcohol that has tinting to it. A lot of people, they take like Sharpie markers, and you can actually take apart the inside of a Sharpie marker and soak it in like 99% alcohol, and you have alcohol ink, which is pretty cool. Or there's nail companies that have made alcohol inks. Profiles have made alcohol inks. There's a lot of different ones. I love Profiles Backstage. So we're actually going to be using two different colors of alcohol ink today. We're going to be using kind of like a brown or like a red orange color and a yellow. So on our matte nail, we're going to take our alcohol ink first and foremost. Okay, so this is like our yellow. You just kind of like drop it where you want it. It's very random. And something about alcohol ink, whenever you drop alcohol ink, regardless of the color, if it hasn't dried, it'll just kind of blend together, which is fine. So here we're just going to kind of drop it, let it bleed out where it wants to go. I mean, that by itself is actually really pretty. And if you don't like how that color looks, you can come back through and add more. And it will bleed. And then as it evaporates, it dries and leaves you really like very strong lines of color. And that's cool. That's what we want. We want it to have like very strong lines of color, especially because with the amber, it does have those inclusions and we want it to kind of pop. So this is just how we start with our base. Nothing much to it. It actually kind of looks like, I don't know, like a blotted out muted giraffe. Okay. So that's kind of what that looks like to start with. We're going to set that aside and let it dry because that alcohol needs to evaporate. We'll do the same thing with this one. We'll start with our yellow again. And I have seen people take Sharpies, you know, things like that. I don't necessarily like to use Sharpies because, let me tell you why. I feel like as professionals, we owe it to ourselves and to our clients to have a professional product. And if we're trying to do something artistic for them and we're going to charge them, then we should have something that is a professional product. And that means including alcohol ink. So if you want to use Sharpie markers, that's fine, but definitely like make your own Sharpie or alcohol ink where you take those little alcohol, you take little bottles, fill them with alcohol, and then do like those little ink pads from inside the Sharpie marker. Like definitely give your clients a little bit of effort, okay? All right, so you can see where we drop that in there after it's dried a little bit and it kind of blends really cool. Now, something else that's really cool about alcohol inks is that you can actually take just straight alcohol and a brush and kind of blend it. So this is a really good way to get like a tortoise shell effect if that's what you're after. We'll let that one dry for just a second. I think this one looks good for now. We'll let that one dry. Okay, so here is the next step, okay? So we did our first layer. So the next layer is this. Now, this is where we're gonna start getting some of those inclusions and we're going to, I'll show you. So these are those little pieces of fire, those little chunks of inclusions in there. What those are actually air bubbles, okay? So this is tree sap and it rolls down a tree. And then it becomes fossilized. And so we want those little inclusions or those air bubbles or what looks like air bubbles. So we're going to take a non-cleanse top coat and we're going to just do little drops, like super random, where we want those little inclusions, okay? Might be over here. Okay, but definitely not the entire nail, just like it's very, very random. And we're going to cure that then for 30 seconds. And we're going to use that to actually add our chromes to, or if we don't have chrome, if we're going to use like gold leafing or something like that. So we're actually going to use a combination of like a little bit of gold leafing and a little bit of chrome today. So same here, just kind of drop it very like random. Okay. And that has to be a non-cleansed top coat because that is what you get gold leaf to stick to. That is what you get chrome to stick to. So that's why you have to have that. Okay. So this is actually gold leaf here. We're going to take some gold leaf and then we're going to take this, which this is shiny copper. These are both from Profiles Backstage, or if you're in Canada, you can get this from nailtech store. .ca. So that's really awesome. And that's important to remember because I have some cool deals to tell you about at the end of this. Okay. So here we're going to take our gold and we're just going to kind of dump it on here a little sporadically, absolutely nothing, like no rhyme or reason really. And then we're going to do our copper and do the same thing, kind of no rhyme or reason. We just want it like very sporadic. A little bit on the corners, and then you can kind of rub it in with your finger. Okay, good like that. And we're going to do the same with this one. And remember, I warned you, I said layer after layer after layer. Okay, so here's more of our gold. And then super sporadic with our copper. And people may not, you guys may not always have this kind of chrome or glitter or whatever in your possession. I mean, you probably have the glitter. That would also work as well. I just really prefer like that gold leafing or those little flakes just kind of come up here because it is very, it's very sporadic. And we like that. It gives it that feel of those inclusions. So that's all we're going to use that chrome for. Let's move that out of the way. Do you love how I have this like huge mess of a disaster here? All right. Just put glitter all over the floor in the condo. No one will care. Okay, so here is the next step to this. Okay, now we are going to take our matte top coat and we're going to do that again. Now that is just to protect what we have here. So we'll do our matte top coat. Profiles Backstage has Magic Matte. If you don't have a matte top coat, you can actually use a regular, just a regular high gloss top coat and wipe it off and then buff it. And then you have that matte finish, but we want to protect what we just laid down, okay? So that's now being protected. We're gonna cure it for 60 seconds. I told you this was like layer after layer because this next one, this is a really cool thing that we're doing next. Just let me cure this here. Okay, protect our chrome inclusions, throw that in there. Okay, so in preparation for the next step, so I'm moving our chrome out of the way. Okay, in preparation for the next step, you're going to need hard gel. So I'm using Spa One. This is the Tri-Coat. Oh, but I don't want blush. Hold on, I want the clear. Oh goodness, sorry, that sound was awful. All right, here we go. Clear sculptor. My apologies. Loud noise again. Okay, and then we also want a piece of like a Ziploc bag, okay? So we're gonna take our Ziploc bag, we're actually gonna cut it into just a little piece about the size of a fingernail. You will see what we're doing here because this is really cool. Do that one. This one over here. Okay, so we're gonna take our clear gel and our brush, and we're actually going to get a pretty decent bead. I'm going to roll it on and brush this down. Okay, now this is, because this is such a builder, it's pretty strong. But what we want is we want to give this that illusion of having more inclusions in the nail, right? So that's where this comes in. Okay, so before we use this, we're actually going to crumple it up. We're going to make it all wrinkly and crinkly. and pull it apart. See all those wrinkles in there, right? And we're going to lay it on top of this gel. And then we're going to kind of like maneuver this bag to how we want that to fit. Okay, I want it to have those inclusions like right down the middle. All right, there we go. That's pretty cool. I think that one's going to look really good. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and put that in the light for another 60 seconds. I'll do this one at the same time. Once again, pretty big bead here of our gel. Let's kind of brush it across. A little more here. All right, there we go, good. And then we're gonna grab our little piece of a Ziploc bag here and crinkle it. Kind of move it around. Now, I did this a lot of years ago with some different gels. And so I just kind of have kept this like in the back pocket of my life thinking, I wanna use this again. Here we are. Who knew it was going to be used to make our cool gel or cool amber nail? So just kind of move it around until you get it how you like it. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and do this one. And we'll put our gel away because I think that will be plenty. I told you guys layer after layer. Sorry about that. Today is kind of a crazy nail day. Wipe off the excess off my gel brush and put it away. Okay, so here we now have our little nail that we pulled out. All right, this is what we're gonna do. This is super sticky, right? And I don't want it sticky, so I'm actually going to use our No Cleanse top coat right on top of this. Now at this point, you could use matte or you could use shiny, it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go ahead and do the No Cleanse top. Because we're gonna come back through here and we're actually going to buff this a little bit, but we're going to put some alcohol ink there. Now we want it chunky. You see how it's like lumpy and gunky? We want it like that because when we use those alcohol inks, it's actually gonna go and like fill in those little corners, and it might have like a deep spot here that's extra brown or a deep spot over here that's extra gold. So that's what we want, okay? So we're gonna cure that. So here it is again. Pull off our little guy. So yeah, you can see. So this is where like, if you don't get it down exactly where you want it, you're gonna have some really cool inclusions. You see that? Now we're gonna work on that, don't worry. Push that out of the way. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so awesome because after we get this on here, we're actually gonna file these and buff them down, but that is going to give us a lot of depth and a lot of layers in our look, okay? Now, I was visiting with the owner of Mirage Spa Education just yesterday, and she's like, I just don't want this to be too much. Like, we want everybody to enjoy doing a nail like this. So I assured her, I was like, no, this is not overwhelming at all. It's just layers. It looks really impressive, right? But it's just knowing how to layer things together. So, okay. So here we go. Now we can touch this and it's not like all sticky. So at this point, I'm actually going to take my file. I'm going to file off these little like flanker thingies on the corners. I know, I am so good at like making out my own language. Sorry about that. A little more over here. Over here. Okay, so just kind of getting that off of there. So now we are going to layer our inks again. So this is where we come in with our golds and our browns, our oranges. So we will do, let's do a little bit more of our gold. More golds here. And then I really want a lot of this brown. I'm gonna drop. Because that brown really starts to, I don't know if you can see that when it drops on top of that glitter. There, you see how it dropped there and it made it dark? Over here, same. Dark. This is where we get that amber finish, where it really just kind of settles into those little holes. That's what we want, right? We'll do a little more over here, kind of blend that in there. There. This looks more and more like amber, like every time I do another nail. I'm like, yes, that's so amazing. Yes, thank you. What do you guys think about that? That's kind of cool. So leave that one there and let it dry. Remember that alcohol ink, it just needs to dry a little bit. So here's our one that we all got like a little crazy with. So we're gonna go ahead and file it. And I'm gonna go ahead and file across the top a little bit. So this is almost like where that air bubble would be, like where that nail or maybe that mosquito like flew in. All right, there we go. We'll just let that kind of be like a chunk. That's gonna be really cool actually. Okay, check this out. Wipe out of the way. So you see where this has almost like this big, it's almost like a valley or a gash. That's really cool. That's actually going to look really, really, really good when we go to add our ink to this nail. So it's really important that you just get this filed because this, you don't want anything like big and hanging out over your nails at this point. And we are going to put one more coat of gel to just like really like get that nice and strong. But check this out. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit more of our gold. So I was reading about amber. Did you know that there are 256 different colors of amber? And they range from like the gold, orange, reddish, burnt color that we know, which is Baltic amber, to even some colors that are more green and even purpley, depending on like what type of vegetation they encapsulated this tree sap that was going down, you know, as I was going down the tree. So that's kind of cool, right? And so if you were to find like a real piece of amber that was like purple or in those greens, that's actually very, very special. They can irradiate amber now to make it that color, but to actually have a real one, wow, so very special. Okay, so I really like how that looks. I don't think we should add any more to it. I think you guys probably would agree. So let's now grab, so both of these, really cool. Actually, with this one, like this is where you could almost do like a little mosquito or a little, I don't know, like a twig or something or a piece of grass. Like that would be really cool. So at this point, this is where we're actually going to add another coat of our hard gel. Now you could do this over natural nails. You could do this over extensions, whether they're acrylic or gel. You just want them like nice and smooth, right? So this is where we're going to come out here and we're going to smooth it with our gel. And we are actually going to buff across these, take a file to them and file them, which is fine. It's just going to make our inclusions look all the more layered. So I'm kind of just like brushing this on to make it nice and smooth. And then we'll file what we need to. But seriously, okay, look at, let me head this there. Look at the fire in that. You can't tell me that that doesn't totally look like a piece of amber. Ah, my life's work is complete. Okay, let's go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds. And I'll do another one over here. So we're actually going to have to fill in that little gap there. Make sure we get that pretty good. I'm going to like that gap though. That's pretty awesome. So now one of the cool things about doing this on a clear nail is really cool because you can see all the way through it. Or, you know, a lot of times if our clients want something like this and it's on a natural nail or something that we've already been overlaying, at least I can show you what it'll look like with both nails. So give me a second here. There we go. Kind of build that out there with our little builder. Not too bad. Won't give us a whole lot of filing to do. All right. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put this one in, take this one out. So, all right, once again, putting my my brush away, kind of clean all that extra gel off, put my brush away. And before I file this, because I do not want to have to clean it and worry about any kind of like extra, you know, sticky or lint or anything, I'm actually just going to cover it with a no cleanse top coat, and then I'm going to file over that. Okay. So grab this, we'll grab our no cleanse. If all you have is your top gloss, that is totally acceptable. You can use top gloss and then just clean it off. Or if you have Accents Shine On, that would be an excellent one to use in this situation. Okay, so then we'll cure it one more time. You see what I'm saying? Like layer after layer after layer. It's a little ridiculous, right? But it's fine. All things for art. Right, we'll clear this with our top coat. I love how this one turned out with that that gash in there. So pretty. All right, then we'll go ahead and put this in our lamp. It's not as bad as other nails I've done that have taken like 45 minutes, right? I mean, this is going to be like 30 minutes. That's not too bad, right, guys? I love the idea of like trying to use things just in our regular household to do nails. That's what I like. So this is really cool. All right, almost done. All right, so here is our nail without being filed. So it looks a little rough, right? But it is non-cleansed, so at least I can file it without feeling like I'm getting something sticky all over my fingers or all over my file, right? So we'll just file that, kind of buff it a little, make it all nice and smooth. So for the entire month of April, and I have to tell you guys this, so for the entire month of April, we actually are changing our live days to Mondays because it's so hard for people to join on Wednesday. So we're going to change it to Mondays. We'll be doing Mondays. at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the same time, it's just going to be on Mondays, which is wonderful. And for the entire month of April, all we're doing is alcohol ink. I'm going to be showing you a lot of different art with alcohol ink. Incidentally, right now, those are on sale. So nailtech store.ca, that is a nail tech supply house in Canada. They are a distributor for Profiles Backstage. So if you're familiar with Profiles in the United States, nailtech store.ca, they are a distributor for Profiles in Canada. So right now in Canada, you can actually buy alcohol inks, buy one, get one free. So if you are ready to like jump into April wholeheartedly, then we're going to do nothing but alcohol ink. So would love it if you want to join me and take advantage of that. So if you want to purchase something, all you need to do from the website, they've been having a little bit of like technical difficulties getting their promo codes in. So just send an email to warehouse@nailtechstore.ca and they will get you your order and they'll get you that buy one, get one free. But totally worth it, right? Buy one, get one free. That's kind of huge, guys. Okay. All right. So now we have this. This is all nice and smooth. That looks so much better because it's pretty lumpy that I've just filed. All right. So now we're going to do our top coat. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. That really, really does look like an amazing piece of amber. I feel so happy with that. Okay, so let's put that one in the light. We'll cure that one for 30 seconds. Here's this one. It's our other guy. We'll go ahead and file them down. And you know what I kind of want to do on this one? I just want to show you guys how to kind of like blend together a combination of matte and shiny. So it would be more like a raw piece of amber as opposed to something that's been tumbled. Okay, so that's kind of cool, right? Okay, so we'll just file it so it's not so lumpy. Okay, so something else I want to talk about. So I have talked about this membership group before. I want to just make sure that everybody knows that they need to like the Mirage Spa Education page on Facebook. Okay, Mirage Spa Education is a school that is based out of British Columbia. Not only are they a school for licensing for nail technicians, but they also do extended like advanced courses. So make sure you like that page on Facebook. That will help you so much when it comes to these extra classes that we're going to be having. In addition to that, there is a group, and this is a private group, and it is Mirage Spa Education members only. So make sure that you ask to join that group. I am the moderator of that, and you will be approved to join. There will be things on that page in that group that are exclusive to that group. Now, originally I had been talking with the owner of Mirage Spa Education, and we wanted to have like a paid membership. Now, that's not a bad idea. We love that idea, right? You want to get paid for what you do. But for a while, we just decided that it would be so great for us to be able to give to the nail community. So for a while, we're actually not going to charge for that membership. We just want everybody to come and join and feel the support that they get from the nail industry. So at least with us, we want you to feel like very loved and very supported. So there is no charge for that membership. And there will be a lot of things that you get. But the only way that you get that is if you like our page and then join our private group. So hopefully you guys have joined our private group, because that's where we're at, waiting for, our friends to join. Okay, so I got this one all filed. So now we're gonna do that like matte shiny combo. Okay, so with the matte, you always start with matte, because if you do all shiny, you kind of will not see where it's going. We'll do matte there, a little over here. Okay, so that's gonna be like our matte. It'll look kind of raw. And then we're gonna take our shiny. Kind of fill in the rest of those. Now, what's cool about these top coats is they are self-leveling. So blending them together is really no big deal. They'll just kind of level themselves out before you put them in your lamp. I'm gonna tip it over for just a second. Look at that, that's so cool. Kind of get it all nice and even. All right, so let's throw this one in the lamp. All right, so here's number one, everybody. Here's our first amber nail. Layer after layer after layer, but all alcohol ink and a little bit of chrome and some gel, and this is what you got. And it's pretty cool, right? Make it so beautiful. Come on. It's actually more beautiful than the first one that I did. So much more beautiful than the first one I did. Okay. So yeah, but that's so cool. I mean, every piece of amber is unique. Every single one is different. So you'll see how beautiful that is. Amber has been used a lot, like it's been used as medication. I was reading something, there was a plague that had come through, I want to say Europe actually. And these doctors, these scientists said, hey, let's like aerosolize, that sounds so crazy, aerosolize amber and blow it into the air, and it's going to act like an antiseptic or like an antibiotic that's all natural, right? And so incidentally, the men that were spraying this aerosolized amber all over never got sick, and they never got that plague. So, little like weird thing that you could know. So, all right, so here's just like kind of a little bit of a combo. I don't know, I might just like it better shiny, but it is kind of cool to see the combination. For those people, I'm just gonna make it all clear because it's prettier when it's all clear. So we'll go ahead and do that, but it was worth a shot. All right, everybody. So now you're gonna have to do your nails like this. So if this is what I would like to do, okay, so if you're watching this video, either live or down the road, and you do a nail like this, please, please, please post it in our group. Like, I want to see these nails in our group. And then I will take all of those nails that are posted on our group and I'll put them in a drawing, and I will do a drawing and send you something for free. So that's cool, right? So a little incentive that you guys can do some cool nail art, and then we'll go from there. And you get to be featured on a couple different nail pages. So that's awesome. So here's the other one. I'll go ahead and cure it and it'll be done. Oh my gosh, could you see this with like just a couple little rhinestones? I've always said that nail art needs to be so beautiful that I would wear it as a pendant. And clearly I wear amber as a pendant, because here's my pendant. So it has to be as beautiful as something I would wear as a pendant. So I do believe we have made our nail art beautiful like a pendant. So, okay, so don't forget, like the page and then follow our group. And if there is anything that you want, buy one, get one free. Inked It is what it's called. It is Profiles Backstage alcohol inks, and that will prepare you for the entire month of April. Every week we're doing nothing but alcohol inks. And they are buy one, get one free at Mirage Spa. I'm sorry, not Mirage Spa, nailtechstore.ca. My apologies. And if you do want to order something, just send an email to warehouse@nailtechstore.ca. Okay. And you get one, buy one, get one free. That's like such a killer deal. Anyways, that's the story. I'm sticking to it. All right, here's our last one. I could do these as earrings. You're so right, Carrie. You're so right. So there we go. Those are our amber nails for the day. I'm so, so grateful to you guys. I know it was a small group, but I really do appreciate you joining me. And I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I think almost everybody here knows how to get in touch with me, either with email or texting or sending me emails, whatever. So, okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Jeff, for letting me borrow your wife, and Billy Joe, and Shyla, and Brenna. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Okay. Bye.